Boing! Holy crap. Thorn. To rend one's enemies is to see them not as equals, but objects, hollow of spirit and meaning. 13th Understanding, 7th Book of Sorrow. Augmented through dark practices, Thorn was once a hero's weapon. Its jagged frame hints at a sinister truth, a powerful connection to the unutterable sorceries of the Hive. The legend of Thorn is bound to the rise and fall of Dredgen Yor, a guardian whose name is remembered with disgust and shame. The weapon was thought destroyed, but rumors of its existence still haunt the wilds. Rezyl Azzir, before these walls. Rezyl Azzir was a man. In time his kind would be called Titan, mountains of muscle and might and metal. His collar was fur and teeth, his person clad in ornate, golden-etched plating, trophies upon his shoulders. This was before the city was the city. This was before the walls, still in the shadow of the fragile giant above, but before. Salvation seekers came, survivors, weary remnants of a people on the brink. These were the days before reason took hold, before study was merged with belief. The giant was looked to as one would a god. Maybe it still is. Factions grew from the huddled masses, like minds coming together to provide support, comfort. Over time, these loyalties demanded loyalty, differences that used to inform, viewpoints that when joined granted a larger understanding of the whole, became points of conflict. The sanctuary became divided. The shadow of light grew darker. This, humanity's last oasis, slowly fading to a mirage. Great, powerful men and women, the Risen, stood at the faction's sides, protection, enforcers, misused possibility. Misery crept into this false paradise, yet hope lingered. Seeing the cracks in this society born beneath the giant's fractured shell, some among the Risen challenged the disillusion of all that could be. They would no longer serve as instruments of oppression. They would be more. Thus began an unnecessary war made necessary by greed, ambition, fear. And in the chaos of the struggle came the scavengers, aliens with appetites, a common enemy. In the end, the scavengers were repelled and the factions fell, their grip broken, though their beliefs remained. This was the earliest days of the Guardians, when might found purpose. Prosperity was in reach. Rezyl had been a champion of these wars, a leader. Against the alien pirates he had been more. If the giant wasn't a god, then maybe Rezyl was. As the first walls formed, built of hard work and sacrifice, Rezyl and the Guardians stood against the alien plunderers time and again. More survivors arrived, more warriors. The Guardian ranks swelled. The city grew. Hope blossomed. To Rezyl it was a currency. Hope bought tomorrow. Tomorrow bought the effort needed to survive today. Yet Rezyl grew weary. Stories haunted his nights. Old stories. Those no longer told. Those locked behind tight lips for fear of what they may invoke. Whenever the sun dropped below the horizon and the moon rose high, Rezyl's thoughts wandered. How safe was safe? How long could they fight with the darkness still writhing? So, every day Rezyl would fight and build and protect. And every day a city grew beneath the giant, and every night he would think about all that was never said and stare intently at the moon above. Rezyl Azzir, War Without End. Ixori's Ambush. His foot pressed hard to the sun-cracked ground. Beneath it the Vandal's neck gave. A hiss of ether burst free before dissipating. Rezyl turned. 3 dregs charged. Their captain raised his shockblade high, unleashing a battle cry to fuel their courage. Focused fire spit from the muzzle of Rezyl's full auto. The dregs fell. To the captain, Rezyl was a trophy that would buy unmatched respect amongst his devil brothers. To Rezyl, the captain was already an afterthought. As ether leaked from the pirate's broken body with each blow of Rezyl's heavy fists, Rezyl's attention had shifted to the unknown but inevitable battles to follow. This was the state of things, conflict as common as breath. The Tescan Valley encounter. A ketch with unfamiliar markings hung low between 2 peaks, a rare sight. Fallen flagships weren't known to linger so close to the surface, preferring constant motion, like sharks on the hunt. Skiffs circled below the ketch as their crews prepared to plunder any treasures the facility held. Rezyl leveled his rocket launcher. A digital ping signaled the lock, and a trail of smoke shot toward the lead skiff. 2 more rockets followed in rapid succession. The lead skiff took 2 hits, lurched, and retreated back toward the ketch above. The third rocket caught a trailing skiff as the craft turned to engage its attackers. Rezyl looked back. Go.
You can't take a catch alone.
Hassa laughed. The ship isn't my target. Rezyl had a plan. Hessa hated Rezyl's plans with equal parts envy and concern. Lead the skiffs away, he continued. We'll meet...
Can't meet if you're dead.
Tover shot back. Rezyl smiled beneath his helm. Go. Hassa and Tover throttled their sparrows and disappeared into the heavy woods. Rezyl watched from cover as the skiffs gave chase. The fallen below had taken defensive positions. The rocket's attack caught them off guard, but they were ready now, and there were more of them than he had time to count. Rezyl raced down the slope, weaving between the thick growth of brush and pine, on a direct path for the fallen clustered at the mountain's base, his ghost at his side. I need you to hang back.
Trust
me.
Always have.
How quick can you light my spark?
You expect to die. Can't say that's the best...
How quick?
Quick.
Be ready.
For?
You'll know. Rezyl's ghost slowed as the guardian hit the valley floor. The fallen opened fire. Rezyl leapt from his sparrow as it transmatted away, his rifle spraying lead at the entrenched pirates. The fallen's arc bolts peppered Rezyl. Eager dregs rushed and were met with death as Rezyl marched forward. A massive blast cratered the ground a few feet from the Titan. The Ketch had turned its gun on Rezyl. Another blast impacted by Rezyl's left, and he stumbled. A third exploded directly in his path. And Rezyl fell. From the tree line, his ghost watched as the fallen celebrated and a skiff drifted down from the Ketch above. The circle around Rezyl's body parted, and the imposing figure of their Kell stepped forward to admire his prize. The chittering excitement quieted to a steady drone as the Kell lifted Rezyl's limp body by the neck. A chorus rose among the crew, growing louder as the Kell hefted Rezyl over his head for all to see. Rezyl's ghost darted low through the crowd. He didn't like Rezyl's plan, but now he understood it. Distracted by their Kell's triumph, the ghost's presence went unnoticed until a beam of light swept over Rezyl's body. The mood shifted instantly, cheers turning to ravenous shouts. The Kell's gaze fell to the ghost as the beam faded. The circle began to collapse. The fallen set to pounce. As the Kell moved to toss Rezyl aside, cold steel met the underside of the alien marauder's jaw, followed by a red flash as Rezyl pulled his cannon's trigger. Ether spewed in an angry geyser and the Kell's grip loosened. Rezyl hit the ground and unloaded 5 more rounds into the fallen leader's torso. The monster dropped. Frenzied, the Kell's crew closed in like a flood. Rezyl's ghost lifted above the fray, frantic.
Now, now, now!
In one motion, Rezyl rose from a crouch, his fist clenched and raised high as a storm of arc light built within him, his full might raining down on the Kell's chest. The shockwave of Rezyl's attack hit like a meteor, shattering the Kell's body and any fallen within the Havoc Storm's radius. Rezyl triggered his sparrow. His ghost flew to his side.
We leaving?
Before that Ketch opens up on us. Rezyl punched the throttle as the fallen crew opened fire.
Let's never do that again.
Rezyl didn't reply. If war was a constant, never was just an illusion. In defense of North Channel. Winds from the south caught the smoke and began to clear the thick air. Slowly, the citizens of the small, snow-covered settlement came out from their hiding places. Rezyl surveyed their faces, each weary, but flecked with hope. Living in the wilds was all they had known, surviving, fighting, hiding. These people had heard stories of a safer place, but tales of a better life were so rarely true. Rezyl and his companions had been tracking these fallen for weeks. Had they caught them sooner, this town would have been spared. That any survivors climbed from the rubble to see another day marked this as a victory, but Rezyl was growing tired of small wins, however meaningful. That evening, Rezyl and the others led a gathering of survivors on a long journey to the growing city beneath the Traveler. Some settlers remained behind, choosing to stake their claim in the untamed wilds. Rezyl admired their resolve, but never looked back. He knew whatever death these brave pioneers avoided that day would be coming to them, someday, in one form or another. Into the empty thing. Whoop! You took the chair. How did they not see where the chair went?
Because it's really shadowy up there.